Is it possible for me to increase my speed a little bit here? Perhaps even accelerate significantly? Like really step on the gas pedal? Would that be acceptable in this situation? Alright, I felt that, but we can't go any faster. We're on the museum grounds. This is Sverdlovsk region, by the way. Verkhnaya Pishma. It's a 15-minute drive from Yekaterinburg. I have a place to race here on my day off. On Monday? And where do you have to walk? But not on a day off, not on Monday. The total area of the complex is about 85,000 square meters. The museum's collection includes 12,000 exhibits, among which there are some unique ones. I want to give credit to the designers. The visibility is absolutely amazing. Yeah, truly at the level of the exhaust pipes of the Kamaz trucks. But you can still see everything around. And the handling is just incredible. It's a huge go-kart. It's undoubtedly a very incredibly tough car that truly vibrates the soul out of you. We absolutely need smooth, endless highways or even a racetrack. And you can't look to the left. You immediately hit your head. That's the sound, by the way, of the head. Did you see the seatbelt? Like a right-hand drive car, but with a left-hand steering wheel. So, how do I get out of here now? Let me think about it for a little while longer, maybe. You know, I guess, yeah, not like that. In situations like this, a person or creature quickly adapts to new environments. This adaptation is almost instinctive, even if the situation seems challenging or unfamiliar at first. I got out of an expensive car that cost $117,000. A sports car made in Russia, a sports car built in the traditions of the global automotive industry, sounds like a utopia. But it happened, and not so long ago. But it was like that, and not so long ago. Here is Marussia, and it has already come history. Not long ago, in the grand scheme of the universe, a company called Marussia Motors appeared in Moscow, where the main figure, at least in the media, was the magnificent musician and actor Nikolai Fomenko, a musician and an actor. Initially, the production of sports cars was located at the Snezhnica refrigerator factory in Moscow, which is in the Botanical Garden, in what used to be a quiet and cozy place. Marussia Motors. Well, it does indeed sound like what a young company wanted. To build a comparatively inexpensive domestic sports car for those times. Ambitious, certainly. Jumping ahead, I'll say that overall they succeeded, but there were a lot of buts. The public first saw the Marussia B1 on December 16, 2008 in the new Manege Hall in Moscow. Our specimen is already the B2, so to speak, visually reinterpreted. Nikolai himself had a hand in the car's design. Under his attentive guidance, designer Maxim Shersnev was creating, and he created a look that was different from the first Marussia, which resembled a classic supercar more. Well, as they often say, to each their very own. I especially like the front part of the car, where the letter M is quite clearly visible. Matman. Do you know what the weight of a rather large car is? The B1 weighs 950 kilograms. Lenses, LED optics. About dimensions, Marussia immediately decided to make large cars. They say that wealthy Russians are not very fond of cheeky little things. But let's say the Bugatti Veyron is just the right size. So the body length is 4635, width 2 mip, wheelbase 2658 mm, height 1100 mm, and the curb weight is 1250 kilograms. Curb weight 1250 kilo, total 1400 kilo. It's a very light car. There's no secret here. As you can see, all the exterior panels are made of carbon fiber. I want to say right away, it was molded, baked, and cooked. Everything is made here in Russia. The bodies are completely domestic. The foundation of the body design is a welded cockpit with riveted aluminum sheets. It has quick-release subframes that were designed and made in Russia. I completely copy-pasted this phrase, since I am not an engineer, and it is not difficult for me to go into detail about what I want to show. But again, I want to point out that the design performed at best satisfactorily in safety tests. So we've come to the technical aspects of Marussia. The entire chassis is similar to the Marussia B1, only the bodies and frames are different. And really, why change something that is very, very, very well and thoughtfully designed? But this is where Mode in Russia ends. But who said that using good foreign parts assembled and put together in their own way is a bad thing? China's auto industry struggles. Tesla thrives with foreign tech. And Tesla is exactly a builder using foreign technologies. So the suspension is independent both in the front and the back. The chief designer of everything at the beginning was Igor Ermelin. The entire design of the chassis was developed here from scratch. Then the car was sent for road testing to the German company KW. They make suspensions for Corvettes, Audi R8s, Lamborghinis. So, at KW they said this is the best suspension they've ever tested. And also, the suspension is assembled on A's, not on silent blocks. Well, like it's a sports car, so it has to be. It's a lever-type suspension, KW. HLS4. It was specially made for Russian specifications, specifically for this car. HLS4 is a hydraulic lift system, a hydraulic system that raises all four wheels, and the car can grow by 7.5 cm. The brakes here are disc brakes, either Wilwood or Alcon, but it says Marussia on the calipers. The hubs here are interesting. Ferrari with a single nut, that's pretty impressive. Oh, and the drives here are from Ferrari. Before I even attempt to open it, I'll be completely quiet, and you can take a moment to admire the rear. It's just fantastic. The situation with the engines is much more complicated here. They wanted one thing, but the managers messed everything up. We made agreements with other suppliers, but they messed up too. And who do you think it is? That's right, starting with the letter M. Managers, in our specific case, it's specifically a VW engine. The various volumes and powers were different, and the specifications... The body allowed for cramming in a 420 horsepower engine here. The subframe and the front suspension were changed, but this particular unit is probably the saddest thing that could have been installed here. A 2-liter turbo engine with a power output of 220 horsepower. Have you seen? The rear window can be lifted, and the ventilation in the engine compartment will improve. You might be wondering, folks, what is this dull piece of metal? And this, comrades, is the prototype. That's what makes this car unique. Although all Marussias are unique. Now we move on to the next part, which is the trunk. Sorry. I am really very sorry. Just like that. It's the prototype. Well, that's it. Mirrors on long legs, aerodynamics. The mystery. How do the doors open if there are no handles anywhere?
While you think about it, here are the air intakes for additional engine cooling from the oncoming airflow. And here the door opens with a button. Magic. Now I'll open the gas tank as well.
Magic. Сейчас открою еще и бензобак.
The small flap, which is quite delicate, opens effortlessly with a simple press of a button. And inside, you will find a shiny aluminum cap. Interestingly, as you proceed to open it, you might find yourself feeling a bit melancholic. By the way, it's handmade. The interior? It was again designed by our guys using foreign elements that fit the concept of the car. What is not visible, all the wiring, electronics and brains are not ours. What is visible as well? BMW and friends. For example, the ZF steering. Well then, let's sit down in this low ride. Basically, you essentially take a seat, well, at road level. So first the leg. Those long legs. All right, here we go. Whoa, that's it. I fit in perfectly.
Я поместился.
And overall, it's not that scary. But I squeezed in and immediately it's hard to breathe. Claustrophobia. But on the other hand, I looked around, and by the standards of the 90s, no, not just by the standards of the 90s, even now it's very luxurious. Steering column, adjustable, with features like LCD monitor, Bluetooth, armrests, maps, navigation, and more. Oh, Google, my favorite. Little tiny eyes. So, I take it that's the one that keeps an eye on you. Heated windshield, a feature, song. The key. The car starts by turning the key in the ignition. And this is the control unit for the automatic transmission. You have the option to switch over to manual mode. Let's go ahead and initiate the startup process. The sound is noble and impressive. We need to... the car. But to make life seem more interesting, and let's go. With a good powerful engine, Marussia can accelerate to 100 in just 3.8 seconds. I believe it, but I couldn't find any information about our vegetable, yet it's still fun and lively. The maximum claimed speed, again for a production supercar, is 310 km/h, but there's a catch with a limiter set at 250. Back then they were asking for $117,000 for the Marussia B2. Probably it's fine. I don't know. But the car has too many flaws. But again, about the dead, it's either nothing or it's good. And here you go, it's good. A damn well handling car without a doubt. Stability gets a 5 out of 5. And now for the sad part. Marussia went under as a sports car manufacturing company in 2014. How many were produced? The numbers vary here, but it's definitely around 100. Who buried the bold, beautiful, and well thought out initiative? I'll say it vaguely without going into details. Everyone should do what they know how to do. And if you hand your project over to efficient managers and hope for the best, everything will collapse. That's when it fell. A good car, built by romantics and enthusiasts with investors' money. Yes, there's a lot of foreign stuff here, and there are some flaws, but no one in our country has done it this technologically and cool before, and that's something to be proud of. The hunt continues.